Hi, this is Dr. Kimberley Linert, author of Visualizing Happiness in Every Area of Your Life and host of this podcast, Incredible Life Creator. And today I have Mr. Robert J. Moore on with me. And good morning, Robert.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great. And you've been on here before more than once. So you're just
More
a
than
repeat.
twice, to be honest with you,
Yes,
more than three times.
yes. So thanks for coming on again. But you're doing something new again. So I'm just going to read your bio so people kind of
Yeah,
know
please
a
do.
little bit about you, and then we'll go from there. So, Robert J. Moore, a seasoned professional, has been prominently featured in Forbes and Disrupt magazines. He is an internationally awarded bestseller and the founder of Next Level Coaching. Robert played a key role in achieving the Guinness World Book Record and Global Recognition Award, impacting numerous lives through his coaching programs. Over the past 15 years, Robert has elevated his high-end mastermind programs to global recognition, becoming a sought-after teacher for individuals ranging from beginners to experts. He imparts the precise techniques and strategies he personally employs in his daily business operations. Robert generously shares his high performance methods with clients, enabling them to replicate his success in a fraction of the time. He firmly believes that every business deserves success in its respective field. Magazines worldwide, national TV programs, and radio shows have conducted interviews with Robert. He has been invited to speak on prestigious stages alongside luminaries such as Jack Canfield, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Eric Thomas, Douglas Vermeeren, and Armand Morin. In addition to coaching accolades, Robert has earned noteworthy awards, including 9 for his 2023 documentary titled Reinventing Freedom. This documentary chronicles Robert J. Moore's inspirational journey from homelessness and prison to achieving recognition in Forbes. It serves as a testament to his resilience and triumph. Recently, April 2024, very recently, Robert was awarded Legends of Coaching Award from Forbes Business Awards. All right. Well, the wonderful thing about you, Robert, is you always have a treasure trove of things to share with us, like amazing
Yeah, so I
information,
like I like to
guidance.
keep growing, right? I like to keep growing, keep suspense going with other people. And one thing about me is I will not let a, a student pass me because I'm always learning too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm on a mission to learn. There's a reason why I call this next level coaching is because I want to go to the next level. I want to go to the next level after that, the next level after that. But this time I did it differently because I hired two coaches that are well known in the world. Right. So Armand Morin, he's the top strategist in the world and the CEO of Think and Grow Rich, Common Sense. You don't need no invitation there. We all know what that one's about.
Mhm.
I mean, you're hiring people like that. I mean, you're going to do the work. The work has been absolutely phenomenal, and it's been wow. I mean, I probably got another 2 more weeks of training,
Mhm.
and geez, I gotta admit one thing, man. It's a lot of integration, a lot of stuff that I'm doing, like newsletters and that I put out there. If you got 10, 15, 20, 30,000, 100,000 different emails, you put it in this section, it just sends it all out to everybody. Or I do a drip campaign or webinars, and I mean, it's amazing.
That is amazing, the automation that we have. And, you know, having access to a coach like that, gives you that extra little piece where you know what's the cutting edge thing, which you can provide for your students too.
Well, that's the best part of it. Here's the thing I'm implementing all I'm learning from everybody I've ever learned, right? Everything. So, I mean, just to go way back there, I mean, I was a drug addict, alcoholic for many, many years. I was collecting money with the bikers and the mafia. That might scare a lot of people, but I had to go down my own journey, and that was my journey. I was affected by I needed things fast, and it was a fast paced thing. So straight forward, I connected with the bikers and started punching people and kicking their doors in or whatever I had to do. The mafia, we just like hey, what the heck? It was kind of there too. So I mean, I kind of met up with them all. I'm not proud of sitting there saying their names or anything, but it's no different than sitting there saying a guy down the street. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, it's the behavior that comes along with it. and makes it
Mhm.
seem bad. So, I mean, I ended up doing 17 years in another prison. And I decided enough is enough. I want to quit drinking and quit smoking cigarettes, and I want to get a life. So when I went to school, I ended up getting a grade 12. And it was weird because you're inside there 6 months clean sober, and you're sitting in front of people that are 15, 20 years junior of your age. And
Mhm.
it's like they're talking about the party. I just wanted to go over and give them an old wallop, right? You know,
After.
I'm not here to talk about the wobbly pops. I'm here to talk about something different. I want to get my education so I can move forward. I was lost. I didn't know where I wanted to be. It's at 31 years old. It
Mhm.
was like I was a little kid on the inside because I quit drinking. So basically, I didn't mature at the time because I was drinking, right? So I ended up getting my high school diploma. And then I said, okay, well, let's go to college. Just figure out what I want to do. I don't even know what I want to do. So they said, do an opener, like kind of opener thing that opens up your waves and get a certificate or whatever. So I got my social service worker diploma. I said, well, I know enough about addictions. That'd be a breeze to get through. And I didn't realize how much in depth it was in the brain and the different things you had to, the chronicles you had to learn. So I ended up finishing that too. So I got social service worker. I got my addictions degree. I got my BA in psychology, my master's in counseling psychology, my harm reduction, mental health crisis, 2 honorary doctorate degrees. And today, if I talk about awards in that, I got so many awards behind me with Forbes magazine, Guinness World Records, my movie, the documentary. And all these ones here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words right there on the shelf. And they're just for different things. I've flown all over the world. Sometimes I've flown to the UK to receive an award. You know, I got 2 of them out of the UK now, and several other states and Canada. And wow. But the thing is, I didn't get all the education. I want to be honest with you. I didn't get all the education to throw on the wall. As you see, I don't see nothing on the wall. The reason why I got that education is because I wanted to find out why I was being the asshole I was and what the behavior was all about. Why people were seeing me in that way. And why was I acting that way? How and why? So I went from there to learn that. And once I started learning that, I started watching other people and I become that person that I can actually study other people now. So, I mean, because of the fact that I guess you're going to call it a con artist, I guess you're going to call it, you know, no better way to put it. I mean, sorry, but it is what it is. Because I was a con artist, I used to study people, watch them. Now I can talk about the physiology of the face, the body language, and the tone of voice, the tone of writing. I learned all that stuff, but implementing all this stuff and utilizing what I've learned through school has helped me become a lot wiser to the business field and help me grow. I've helped a magnetic entrepreneur when I had that business. I put that business together, coaching and the publishing business. As you know, I dealt with some of the top people in the world.
Mhm.
Some of the top people, I mean, literally, like Eric Thomas, I was on stage with him. You know, Tony Robbins on stage with him. All these people I'm on stage with and connecting with.
Mhm.
And but the problem is though, it felt too over. I wasn't growing anymore. It just felt like I was like maybe I forgot to bring people to the top. It was starting to get lonely.
Mhm.
I just said, you know, people were starting to rip me off all of a sudden. And then I said, you know what? I need a break. I sold Magnetic Entrepreneur. I helped over 200,000 people in that business
Mhm.
because of the fact that I became a counselor, a therapist, and you know, try to help all these people out losing their loved ones and grieving the you know like the emotional side of things. Sold the business. I bought 2 franchises. So I started helping out with the elderly people and going to the house. I had 33 people working for me just not long ago. And that was like 6 months I did that. And all of a sudden people are sitting there saying, Robert, we need you back. We need you back. You got to come back as a coach. I said, give me time. So I sold the 2 franchises. Right. And now here I am today. I opened up 2 months ago again, the next level coaching. And the reason why I called it that is because, like I said, the stuff I'm learning is absolutely just it's unfolding really nice.
Yes. Well, welcome back because we're all happy that you're back.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. Like when I put it out there, sitting there saying I'm coming back. I mean, yourself and a bunch of other people, like, well, wow, here he comes. People always know I go quiet for a period of time. When I come back, I come out with something phenomenal. Right? It's like I'm not avoiding anything. It's just that I'm putting something together at the end, and then when I do come out, it's outside the box, and it's like, wow. It's like before I got asked before. There's one other publishing company said, "Okay, what are you going to do different than I'm doing?" And I said, "Well, I don't care if you're a millionaire or not. I'm going to do something different. I don't like doing what everybody else is doing. I want
Mhm.
to be the center of the eye another different way." That's when I brought out the Guinness World Record, and then all of a sudden there was like 250 people showing up. And a lot of people say, "Well, what'd you win the Guinness World Record for?" Well, I'm just going to tell you straight out. So what I did was I had to make it unique. There was a platform of 15 people. I was on like a Zoom call like this, and I had to impress all these people. I had to have all 15 votes. I had to have it,
Mhm.
right, in order to move forward, because I failed twice with them. That
Okay.
cost me, yeah, I failed twice with them. It wasn't unique enough. So I said, what I did was, I said, okay, I'll get 250 bios. I'll put all the bios in a book. As a publisher, I'll publish it myself.
Mhm.
Once I do that, what's going to happen is I'll print it, I'll publish it, put it online. But it took me 4 months just to get the cover approved.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And like seriously, 4 months I had to do. They're very particular, very particular. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say this, can't say, you can't do this, can't do it. Whoa, wow. Okay, let's see what we can and can't do. Give me the words. You know what I mean? Went from there. Now, I got that done, and then I had to print off a bunch of books to hand out to everybody. So basically, all those people that were in the book, I was hoping they would all come to break the record. The record was 115 at the time.
Okay.
People signed in simultaneously at the same time. So basically, you have a books. Everybody has their own individual book. Because when you say sign in simultaneously, that means the exact same time. That means like everybody's reaching over top of each other trying to sign that book.
Right.
No, everybody's got their own individual book, and they have people watching you at each
Uh-huh.
section. They're watching everybody. All you have to basically do is take 3 seconds, sign your name, hold the book up. So all you had to do.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up getting 126 people involved in it, and we ended up winning that day. And that's how I got that on my wall.
Cool.
But I was the worst part is I was sicker than a dog, and went from there. I was coughing up like felt like I was coughing up a monkey, and I had COVID at the time. I was
Oh.
blood was coming out like crazy. My esophagus was burning from the inside out. It was killing me, and my word's my word. If I say I'm doing something, I'm going to come do it. But there's also another thing that plays a key role involved with me too that people need to understand. I care more about your business than I do your emotions, so it might be a bit strict.
That's good to know. That is good
you,
to know.
you know this. I mean, hey, I speak my mind. I say it as it is. I've told Les Brown to his face. You know what I mean? Told him straight to his face. He goes, Robert, you're not supposed to be doing this on stage or that on stage. I said, who says so? Where's the book on the rule of that?
Who made the
He goes,
rules?
well, he says, well, Robert, you're not, in order to make this happen, you can't do this. I said, Les, that's your rules. I
Uh-huh.
said, you can't bring your rules on to me because I'm not even your student. But then he didn't like the fact I had been coaching his own daughter for
Uh-huh.
4 years. Yeah, I
That's
mean, he was on there last time when we published her book. He come on with his daughter, and I got my high-end student Marianne on there,
uh-huh.
and yeah, we published her book, and it went really well.
Cool. So I wanted to go back just to the story of your life, that time where we were talking about, you went back to finish high school and you were basically doing your best to grow up in a body
Polite way
that
of
was
putting it.
way past growing up time. So just to help people who are listening, if someone's in that spot right now, what would be your best advice for them?
There's nothing bad enough out there that can hold you down. It's you holding you down. I when I went through the steps of the AA meetings and NA meetings and the California 4-step and all these different things, when I sat and did my fifth, the guy looked at me and says, "That's it. That helped you. Kept you drinking, kept you digging that hole." I wanted to literally again. I wanted to bitch slap him. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, well, that kept me. That was hurting me. You don't need to feel it. But he looks at me and he says, "Listen, just because you're feeling that pain, what, you don't think other people went through worse? Other people went through worse and they made it."
Mhm.
And I said, well, I don't put myself in a category of, oh, this guy hasn't done bad enough. That's what we do though, as alcoholics and drug addicts and that. We sit there and look at, oh well, my life wasn't that bad, so I'm okay. I'll just keep drinking and drugging. If it's affected you in a certain way, if it's affecting your job, your house, your money that you have, or your bills, or your family, or something, um, you trust me, you're gonna need the help.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. And
Going on 19 years. September will be 19 years. No drugs or alcohol.
that's awesome. So, but I mean, everybody needs to take time to look at their life no matter what, where they're at. Just like you said, well, sometimes I disappear so I can invent something. I call that my think time. Sometimes we need our think time. We need you need to turn off the phone ringer and say, hey, I'm immersed over here in my think time. Don't, no, nobody
When I
call me.
do my think time, I'm still, people like yourself that have my phone number and stuff like that. They can get a hold of me. You know what I mean? But I mean, it, I never disappear from my students and stuff like that. I just disappear from the people that are watching the stuff I do, that aren't in my newsletters, that aren't, you know, they want to be a part of things, but they don't want to actually show they are actually, oh, I need the help. You know, God forbid I need the help. I've had people come to me, like high-end people, low-end people, no matter what kind of people. I don't judge anybody. I don't care if you're living on the streets or got $1 billion. Either way, if you need that little bit of help in some area, we're all good in areas. Now, the
Mhm.
problem is some people might be good in other areas. Look, I got a coach right now. He's teaching me different things that I've never learned before. It's like, you know, that is kind of cool. And then CEO Think and Grow Rich, I mean, he's teaching me different things. I know a lot of psychology, but the problem is implementing it in the way your life is and the behavior and the thinking. It's totally different style.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I never looked at it that way. I was more looking at, okay, the psychology bit I used was more for being a therapist and being a counselor, where you sit there and listen to people and you help them through the emotion to sympathy and empathy. A lot of
Mhm.
people get that mixed up when they say sympathy and empathy. Well, first of all, you don't want to take their emotions away from them. You want them to actually digest them and learn their emotions. So let them have that moment. So if this is the Kleenex box and they're crying, just nudge it to let them know it's there. Let them get it. If you
Mhm.
actually, oh, it's okay, here's the Kleenex, well, now you're taking away their emotions.
Mhm.
Let them go through their emotions, let them hit that barrel and then come through. I was scraping across the bottom for many, many years. And when I actually went through a treatment center, a recovery center, I still talk to him today, my counselor that was there. He was scared shitless because he said, I thought every time you were going to come in, you were so angry, you're going to rip that bloody door off. He says, we had to tighten up the hinges so many times. And I'm a big boy too. I mean, I come with the aggression at the same time. People do tend to move different ways. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But what he had to do is he had to strip me of all my emotions and I had to identify them in a different way. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like death today, when I hear about death today, I've lost 3 brothers over drugs and alcohol.
Mhm.
3 brothers are dead because of it. You know, so when I have those death days, July 20th or April 1st or this day or that day, whatever days are the death days, I got my mind, okay, I'm gonna focus on one thing today. I'm gonna make $5,000 today.
Mhm.
And I go out and focus. If I don't make that $5,000, it's okay. It's okay. I don't have to be hard on myself because expectations is number one killer in the world. So stop having it.
Mhm.
Just remember one thing: you tried. If you didn't make
Mhm.
that $5,000, it's okay. You got another day. You know what I mean?
Right.
I look at it this way with expectations. If you got a business and you sit there and hard on yourself, which we all are, we're number one critic. Here's the biggest problem: get rid of the expectations. If you sit there, if you go out to look at 100 people and you try, you know, presenting them 100 people in a group, if you get one person, that's a bonus.
That is.
Make that your rule right there. Stick with number one.
Mhm.
One person, it's a bonus. Any more than that, all right, here we go. So put the expectations at a low standard at one. If you get 4, 5, 10, that's that's rewards.
Mhm. Yeah, that's great advice. And, and also great business advice because you, I don't know about you, but I just want to work with people who really want to work with me.
Yeah,
or
I'm
stepping
very
forward to say yes.
particular I'm very particular who I work with.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Yeah.
reason why I have automation programs. There's a reason why the things I have going on are that you have email access to me, but you won't actually get a hold of me on the phone, or we'll have a day, you know what I mean, a VIP day or something,
Mm-hmm.
unless you reach the last two. If you're doing the one-on-one or the group one, you
Mm-hmm.
can actually get a hold of me that way,
Mm-hmm.
and we we can build your stuff that way. But I mean, I keep it pretty simple. The highest one I have is 25,000 right now. It's on half price for 12,000, right? And that's a year long. I mean, that's a
Mm-hmm.
year long. You see me and you talk to me. That's one-on-one. The other one's 15,000, and I got it on price for 7,500, and that's how building a program with me, which you get certified in. So I
Mm-hmm.
take a piece from this person, Tony Robbins, Armand Morin, Think and Grow Rich, this person, that person, Mel Robbins, all these other different people. I take a piece of them all, and I look at me and I put it all in one. That includes behavioral too. The way you think, your behavioral, the way you act, the way you criticize people, the way they criticize you, the way you accept it. And then the automations, the marketing and everything. All of that is included in the certification program because I want you to understand your business, the structure and the foundation of it. If you don't, you're screwed. And the thing is, I want you to basically train someone later on to be able to know that stuff, because if you happen to go and you want to go on a week vacation with your family, you don't need the necessary work. You can always have that other person do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, automation is great like that. You can always have people do their stuff.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. So, we all see the AI, and it's kind of a general term for, some people love it, some people are afraid of it, whatever. But when you're talking about automating, let's get a little more specific. What kind of things are you automating? What's the possibilities here?
The only thing I use the AI part for is the messenger that comes up on your websites.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to know your whole website, everything about you, everything that you got in there, and then everything you upload to it. Plus, if you have a phone number, you put a phone number in there that actually will call you and talk to you, and you won't even know it's the ones we have.
Uh-huh.
You won't even know it's a machine or anything else. It sounds like you and I today.
Uh-huh.
But the only ones that I'm putting together, there's probably about 100 different codes you have to put in. You don't have to be a code expert either. I'm definitely not a code expert. I found out this the hard way. I built it on the wrong site. I put it on this one here and over here. I wasn't paying attention because I'm visual.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, he's talking to me and he's telling me to do it this way and this way. I didn't realize he was telling me it generically. So I basically crushed my whole website that was over here, made a brand new one over here because his automation works through his system. So now it's like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm confused. Well, how do I do this? How do I do that? I must have been driving him nuts, literally driving him nuts. And then finally they sent me another video, and it's like, okay, even put this way, even doing members, if you have members you go into your site, well, one of the biggest questions people ask is, how do you get the email with the different codes and everything else, like your passwords, and how does each individual get that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, wish list members, you could actually rent it off them. I mean, I do a year at a time with them. I rent it off for annual price, and then you incorporate it in your stuff. And then when someone actually goes in there and they actually go get a program off you,
Mm-hmm.
it's geared right to that. And then if they have a thing on there, if they lose their password, it's geared to it all. It's all does it all thing. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to do anything, because that was one of my biggest things. Well, if I get 400 or 500 people, how's that going to work? Do I have to set up, like the passwords, or no? It's an automation. It's
Mm-hmm.
automation. Newsletters are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Newsletters are huge. But the thing is, you don't even have to write your own. That's the best part. You don't have to write your own. Just get the topics on it and just write some stuff at the bottom. Introduce yourself at the bottom, just what you're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm doing a 7-day teardrop, which is totally different, which I'm incorporating a lot of stuff in there that I want people to know. Just want to give them a little touch on things. You don't give them
Mm-hmm.
everything. Give them
Right.
a little touch because you want them to look at something more.
Mm-hmm.
So automation saves you a lot of time. And especially if you have no emails, no email list at all, you can build it. It's easy to build. You put it all over the place, just it builds. I mean, there's different areas where you can go actually. It sounds kind of cruel, weird, like you can actually go into places and buy people to actually that are in that same field that read newsletters, or you could have your newsletter looked at by many, many other people, and they come in and they join you. It's really fantastic stuff. I
Yeah.
went from this time around. I never brought any of my email lists from the other businesses that I had. None of them. I got 10,000 now. It's only been 2 months.
That is amazing. And you're getting qualified leads.
Yeah. Right now I'm doing between 1 and 3,000 leads. Right. I mean, they don't have to go through. The ones that go through me are the ones that are paying to see me personally at the higher price. The lower price, 3 lower price ones, I don't see them. They go through a program. I did videos and everything else. I give them, PDFs, videos, and different things in there. It was the first, I'm going to be honest, it was the first time ever using WordPress. Woo! What a kick in the shorts that was. I won't go back. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you right now, it took me 3 weeks to learn. I'll just say WordPress was different. It was a hard thing to learn and a good lesson. I need it. I need to be humble, right? A lot of people always sit there and tell me that, Robert, you're very humble of the stuff you've been through in your life. I'll let people sit there and talk out in the open when we're having a campfire or something. They get on, they go bragging about the stuff they're doing. I just sit there and like basically say, and what's next? I mean, what are you gonna do next or something like that? I don't sit there and say, well, I did this, well, I did that. Who cares? They're not asking about me.
That's right. Well, also it's in the past now. What are you doing today? That's what I was.
You Google Robert J. Moore. You're not going to miss that anyways. You know what I mean? I had someone. Well, I'll put it this way. I mean, being called a legend from Forbes, first of all, in one of the awards. I mean, that's a good feeling.
That is a good
Especially being
thing.
on their
Now
front
that's
cover
like
one
present right now. That's right now. You just got that award. What, 2
yeah,
weeks ago or
yeah.
something?
That's right there too. It's right there.
Yeah, 2
You know
weeks
what I mean?
ago. That's present day.
I can't believe it. It was like I just come back in. I mean, it's just a couple months ago. It was just I think it was like 30 days back into this one. And that's it. They sent it to me. It's like I didn't even know it was. They sent me a email. Hey, we'd like to have a conversation with you. Okay. Yeah, what did I do wrong? Like, well, you've been nominated and you won. We'd like to just give you a little bit of something through the mail. That's kind of the way it was. They didn't tell me. And then by the time I got it here, it was like, holy man. I had to sit back, digest, and just, okay. I mean, it runs off you a couple seconds later. I mean, the excitement's like a kid opening. Remember how you always wanted something all your life? Oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. The minute you get it at Christmas time, you throw it on the floor and say, oh, I got it now.
You got it now. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who cares, right?
That makes sense. So, Robert, if people wanted to connect with you, learn about your programs, how do they do that?
That's very simple to do. Robert J. Moore, I'm all over the place. You can either go Facebook, you go LinkedIn. I'm interacting in different ones. Not open yet, but it will be soon. I don't like using the other ones, but I'm being told I have to. So here we go. Next thing you know, I mean, you can look at if you want to go to my website, or you could do if you want to email me, you could do support@nextlevelcoachingincorporated.com. That'll you'll be able to get me through there, or you can go to nextlevelcoachingincorporated.com.
Okay.
Not hard. You can't miss me.
Coachinginc.com, right? Yeah.
So I mean, look, I just put something out this morning, and I've already got 100 plays on it just from this morning. It's only like an hour.
That is really, really amazing. All right, so here's the question I ask at the end. There's my two last questions. What is giving you the most happiness and fulfillment in your life right now?
Watching other people grow.
Beautiful.
When I'm watching other people grow, it satisfies me, because then I understand that they're understanding the right thing to do in their life, and they can implement that to help other people.
Thank you. And thanks for being on the podcast today.
No worries.
No worries.
little
Yep.
early in the morning for me, but I mean, hey, we got to get this done.
We got to get it done. So here's my last question. What is your best advice on living an incredible, amazing life?
Best advice: stop looking at the money. Stop chasing the money. Stop chasing other people's dreams. Start working on your own. If you listen, ET says it best. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, says it best. If you put your head underwater, you're going to be wishing for what? Air. You're going to be dreaming for that air. So if you want your dreams to come true, how bad you want that water, I call it the 18-inch rule. Put it from your head to your heart, because when you put it from your head to your heart, you got what? The emotions behind it. When you have an emotion behind someone, it's self-driven. So put your dreams there and make it happen. And you know what? Stop being a tough guy, hitting the head against the wall, hitting the head against, oh, it's going to stop. I got to keep trying. Nothing stops unless you stop it. All right. Never mind, oh, you got to go in this vicious circle. Well, chop the circle in half. Then you got to stop it. Go get a coach. I'm telling you right now, stop the BS. I don't care if you got no money or not. I started off, quick story. I was at an event. This guy beside me really stunk. It smelled like he was on a farm all day. And needless to say, okay, went from there. And I thought, okay, well, I wasn't a coach before. Maybe this could be my first client. It's like 15 years ago. It's amazing. 15 years ago, well, maybe 16 now. And then next thing you know, it goes from there. And, I say, hey, if you got Facebook, add me to Facebook. So we shook hands and we were talking, boom, boom. He left. I left. He got a hold of me later and he starts giggling at me. He says, you honestly thought that you were going to coach me. I could tell the way you were walking with me, the way you were talking with me, the way you were moving. I said, really? You thought that? I was embarrassed. I said, well, don't you need help or something? He goes, you don't know who I am, do you? I said, no, okay, let the cat out of the bag. He goes, listen, first of all, I stunk like that. I smelled like that because, I was on a farm. I was helping a friend with their farm animals or whatever, helping them move things around. I said, but typically, I'm the operations manager of Thick and Grow Rich. I said, holy Lord, love a duck. He goes, now, would you like to talk about me coaching you? And I'm going to tell you something right then. This is where it comes in about the money. He says, don't focus on the money. Focus on the passion you have that for others. I said, well, listen, shit, I got in a couple of weeks, I got these big bills to pay. I got my car, my rent, my mortgage, everything else got to pay. And I only had $2,100 at the time back then. He wanted $1,400 up front that day. And 2 weeks later, another $1,400. And there was no questions about it. Straight out. That's what he wanted. So I took 2 days to think on it. And he says, let me know. He says, last chance. Well, he put scarcity in me, obviously. And I bought into it $1,400 that day. And I'm like, holy shit, what did I just do? Well, how am I going to pay my bills, right? And he pulled me aside again and said, stop focusing on that money. And he just did it in a way that it made me stop focusing on the money. I started looking at the passion on how I can empower other people, how I can step out of myself and start working on other people. I made 17 grand within 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Doing it that way, and then never look back. Never look back at all. I had him for probably 6 months, and then he went somewhere else. I did my own thing. It's like, wow. It's been a phenomenal little trip right now. And then I know I can help anybody out there. I know that. I know the connections I have that can help people. You know what I mean? I'm very well connected to everybody and anybody. Like there's a lot of different angles. And that's one thing good about me. I don't know how I did it. I'm going to say by the grace of God, because when I was going through some rough times, and I put it in my prayers, I said, God, why are you putting me through these rough waters, man? Why are you putting me through these rough waters? I'm hurting. I'm crying like a baby. What is going on? Well, somehow or another, it was in a commercial or something like that, or somebody said your enemies can't swim. Boom. That was it. Your enemies can't swim. So that's why you're going through the rough waters. By Jesus, I'll tell you right now, guys, it's sweeter on the other side.
All right, Robert. Well, thanks for coming on again today.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. We'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.